here with Nicholas McDonnell of Searching Interactive, formerly Samurai Punk. You made crab meat? You made the meat?
I made all of the meat in the crabs. Just yeah. It
Every
was
crab's
very
meat.
hard. I had to squeeze all of that meat out of those bones. The exoskeleton. It took a long time.
It's a horror game. The crabs, they're all over they're spiders of the sea.
Yep.
You're sure that they are the problem, but maybe they're not the problem. How much do you want to reveal about the horrors of crab meat?
I mean, it's pretty upfront that it's not about crabs. Crabs are the central they're not the central antagonist of the game, but they are the
Right.
central to the game, you know?
Yeah, yeah. What do you want to hint about for the people? Because
Oh.
when I first saw it, I assumed the crabs were the problem. Like, crabs are
Mm.
problems in video games. Crabs feel like a problem when you see them in real life. Like, I've never seen a crab and immediately felt comfortable, like seeing a kitten. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
crab, I'm like, hey, what kind of crab? And then I'm like, oh, that's a fun one. And it's never been a problem, but they're so inhuman, those crabs. They are like, a plant is probably farthest from a human, but a crab feels the least like a person out of any animal I can think of.
But they are the ultimate life form. All animals are trying to slowly evolve back into crabs. So
Is that
if
true?
you don't know about, I think it's pronounced carcinization. It's the process where animals regress to crab. It's a very
There's a
popular meme.
specific word for
Yes,
regressing to very specifically crab.
yes, it's a form of evolution. You could say it's an improvement. I'd
Who
say as
says the
humanity,
crabs?
maybe.
I mean, what?
Well, they're quite rough and firm.
True.
Um, they have strong pincers
Yep.
sometimes, and they seem okay compared to us.
They're better than us, and that's
Yes.
one of the themes of your game. You are uh, in my opinion, if I had to try to sum up the Nicholas McDonald gameography, and I'm not sure if I can summon every game to memory. The first game I ever heard of was Screen Cheat,
Hmm.
which was a treat. And I was just thinking about it for a comic I drew for the patrons of this podcast, which was about GoldenEye 64, because
Oh
it
yeah, yeah.
took kind of the spirit of that, but turned it on its head and kind of embraced the sweet flaws of humanity in that they're going to cheat. You're going to look at your friend's screen because it's split screen on the TV and figure out where they are and then try to get them. But that's
Hmm.
all of Screen Cheat is looking at somebody else's screen to figure out everything you're doing,
Yeah.
which is a treat. That feeling of like people are a little off, aren't they? It kind of permeates a lot of your work. Last time we talked, if I remember correctly, was about the American Dream for Samurai Punk. And my
Yep.
10-year-old, by the way, is obsessed with the stuffed animal gun. I think his name is Gunny.
It's actually it is a baby. It's a child of a gun. But yes,
My
it is a
mistake.
gunny. It's a baby gunny. It's not an adult gunny. There is it's long enough now. There's gun childbirth in the American Dream.
That's right.
People haven't played that game. And um yes, the gun plushie is very cute though.
Yeah,
Um
his mom hates it, and he wants to bring it over to a sleepover this weekend to just show his friends, being like, "Can you believe
I've got
this?
one.
Oh, you've
I've
got
got a
one?
gunny in this.
We have
Yeah, I've
got
got
one
one
too,
with
thanks
me.
to you.
I
Oh
can't
yeah,
remember
please show it
this
off.
video. But
Yeah, that's
otherwise I'm
right.
just embarrassing myself. But yeah, we've got a little gunny here. It's the like child of the gun. Great audio content. It's if I described it, it was it's phallic. It's got a cute little eye, and it's like a little pistol from a cartoon, but it's got a face and a mouth.
And I was trying to explain to his mom, it's a joke. Like he doesn't actually love guns. He made it to show how the United States takes it as normal. We think of ourselves as normal here, but it's very abnormal for other cultures and countries to realize how we just see guns everywhere. Like we
Yeah.
went to Walmart the other day, my 10-year-old, and we were going to try to pre-order Star Fox because you get $10 off, and they said no pre-orders here. I'm like, what? And they're like, you got to go online. I'm like, of course, you can't actually do things in a store. And in front of us were two guys buying huge guns. And my
Yeah.
10-year-old just started to laugh out loud. He's like, they could kill people with those. I'm like, I know, maybe they will. Like, that's the question you got to ask after you reach a certain age at this country. You made a game about that. where people are cooking burgers by shooting the burgers to flip them and like, it was like Octodad but with guns. It was like Gundo Dad kind of.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, which is fun. And it was in VR if I remember correctly.
Yeah, with the whole game is in VR, regrettably.
And people, I don't think were ready necessarily. Like my experience with figuring out why it landed the way it did. Like there's a lot of people who got the joke and loved it, but they didn't necessarily like it enough to buy it, it felt like. And then there was people who just were like, "What do you mean? Of course you should flip burgers with guns." Like it was like how some people look up to Beavis and Butthead legitimately instead of seeing them as parodies of teenagers. They're like, "Oh yeah,
So
no, that's cool. I want to
the
shoot him."
legacy of the American Dream is that the key art for the game is this like Norman Rockwell-esque thing of a family cooking burgers on the grill. Everyone has a gun, even the kids, and the dog has a gun in its mouth. That keeps resurfacing, but in the context of this is what we want. This is like us, or the quote will be something like, "This is the America we want," or "This is what we
No,
miss." Yes,
no.
and fully serious on various like scary Twitter accounts. That is its legacy. Every year or so, it kind of pops up in that format.
Wow. How does that feel to be the creator of something that resonates, but is
Well,
such truth telling that you accidentally just added to it in a way?
it's pretty depressing, really. I mean, parody is was just like, well, okay, so we'll never, not make parody ever again because it's what's the point?
Yeah.
You got to be you. There's no point of having any kind of subtlety. Not that that game was particularly subtle in any way.
No,
Uh,
but unless you are beating people over the head with the idea that you think it's a little much how much
mm.
there we have guns here, like people say it about Trump all the time, like you can't do a like a funny that the president is so transparently corrupt and mean and not thinking because he's just already done all those jokes, but
You can't
seriously.
compete. He's gonna say something crazier than anything you could possibly write.
Yeah, he was saying the other day, I gotta go to Fort Knox. Maybe there's no gold there, but maybe there is. Like, how do you even like if anyway, I'm not gonna get on that tangent. So you stopped parodies after that. Samurai Punk continued.
Well, we didn't explicitly stop parody. I mean, but it definitely put you in this mindset of like, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What came after American Dream? Remind me of that.
Uh, there was a swath of things because that was like 2017,
Hmm.
and we did sort of, I don't know the exact timeline, but we did Feather, which is a sort of like, the game Journey or Sky, Child of Light,
Hmm.
which came after. It's
Yeah.
you're a bunch of birds hanging out on a big island having a nice time. And you're
Yeah.
just all you can do is fly around and tweet at each other and change into different birds.
It was like
It's
the
sort of
antithesis of the American Dream for me. I remember when it came out. I think that's when we
I was
actually
working on
last
it
talked.
right at the end of American Dream.
Yeah.
So that was what I was doing towards the end of that project. We did that. We did Rumbo First Blood, and which was the robot vacuum cleaner who defends his home like a good robot vacuum cleaner should.
Mm-hmm.
What else did we do after that? Screen Sheet Unplugged. Justice Sucks. We had a bunch of cancelled projects. We did contract work for a bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then yeah, I think the final big game was Justice Sucks, which is the sequel to Rumbo First Blood, which had to have its name changed for reasons.
No
And
way. Did Stallone come
yeah,
after you? Could you say?
it's more the robot vacuum cleaner company whose name has a product that's name is quite similar to Roomba.
Right.
Oh, wait, no, it's literally Roomba. This is why we have to change the name. It's too close. Roomba is too close to Roomba. That's obvious. And then the last game we did at Samurai Punk was Killbug, which was like a Devil Daggers type game, but more vertical. And actually that is kind of how I got to the point where I am now, because that was almost a solo project,
Oh
right? I
wow, is that
planned,
right?
yeah, I made a lot of it on my own, or like most of it, and it was kind of going to be published through Samurai Punk, and then we needed something to do because we hadn't figured out what the next game was going to be. So we pulled everyone on to sort of polish it up into like a bit more of a premium thing. And then it just became a full Samurai Punk project at that point. And then 4 months later, it came out.
Ah, gotcha.
That was that,
Yeah.
and that was 2023. So
And there was, as I remember it, pretty much like parody free, irony free. There wasn't really a twist to it. You starting with Screen Sheet, I feel like comedy kind of worked its way into most of your games in one way or another.
yes,
And Killbug, I don't remember being particularly funny. It was just sort of sweet, and it was all bugs all the time, if I remember correctly.
Well,
A lot of
yeah,
vertical
it
movement.
was all good times and just action. And I think I was really just trying to because I was coming off Justice Sucks, and at that point I was the design directing and doing a lot of AI programming, real AI, not like
Not
gross AI.
LMMs or whatever
Yes,
they're called. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And I think I wrote on my notes saying like, I just want to make a game that's fun to play. I just, I just want to make a game because Justice Sucks at the end of it. You know, you work on that game for 2.5 years. It's you can only play as a robot vacuum cleaner so much, especially when you put like 1,000 hours into it as a developer.
Yeah, and it was the sequel too. So you were in
Mm.
the world of robot vacuum cleaners defending their homes or fighting in some way and sucking up the blood, if I remember correctly.
Yep, that's a big
That's
part of
one.
it. Yes, sucking up the
Yeah,
blood.
and it was again funny. And I'm guessing you made a sequel because the first one did well enough to like justify it. But at the
Yes,
same
yeah,
time, it's
and we
like,
found a publisher for the sequel as well.
oh, cool. That's always
Yeah.
helpful, financially for sure.
Mm.
But then Killbug, I was so excited for it to be a slam dunk because, as you said, Devil Daggers, which no one that I know really remembers now, because that was what, 5 years ago or so. I think that was like Biden-ish.
Yeah,
Um,
that sounds about right. Yep.
yeah, and it was the hot thing, and it's a great game. So I'm not at all diminishing it, but for a month or two, it seemed like that was going to be like a thing, like Devil
Yeah.
Daggers likes, just like how there's like Vampire Survivors likes now. And then it just didn't. Then I have no idea why. The way things flip is so hard to predict. Killbug's such a short development time overall in the grand scheme, and yet it still didn't seem to land right when people might have been able to grab it. And it never was on consoles, if I remember correctly, because that costs a
No,
lot of
no.
extra money, and it was sort of a project, a palate cleansing project that you hoped because it was fun would do well. And then like I can't remember how long, but it was some months after that you were like, so Samurai Punk is no more. And I was like,
Yeah.
God damn it, why didn't you buy Killbug? And I just started yelling, God damn it, why don't you buy Killbug to my family? And they were like, we did. Why are you mad at me? And I'm like, oh, you should have bought it twice. But I tried. Yeah. And then now you're searching interactive. So I was worried you were going to stop making video games because I mean, it's hard.
I don't think
And
I could. I
everyone's
don't.
in pain. Like, I don't know anyone who makes video games that's not in pain. Even the people I know are super successful are like, now what? Like, will I ever be successful again, though? Is anyone sure of anything or even confident anymore? Like, no one I know is confident anymore in the games industry. And yet you came back searching interactive.
Yeah, technically, I never went away either. I actually, so the last game that I was working on at Samurai Punk was not Killbug. I was working on a game called Rip and Care, which became Barrow. And I actually announced that I officially canceled that project because it got taken out of Samurai Punk when Samurai Punk sort of wound down. Samurai Punk still exists. Me and Winston, the co-founder, we still do maintenance work and make sure the games are still running, making sure servers for online games are still kicking.
Sure.
Um, so Barrow was meant to be the next game. But when we decided to wind down, I found a way to get it funded, the pre-production of that game funded. But trying to actually blow it out into like a larger production never worked out. I did like a blog post about like why that was the case, and I did that for about 2 years
Oh,
after
wow.
Samurai Punk said, yeah. So because this was 2026, yeah, late 2023 we closed. I worked on Barrow for a long time. Um, and right when I was sort of figuring out that Barrow was not going to turn into a bigger game because it was quite a large project, it's very hard to find financing at that scale. I wanted to pay everyone properly.
Sure.
Uh, we, I basically just was like, okay, well, I'm just going to make something small to yet again cleanse my palate, but then also uh, see if I can just get something out commercially. That's
Sure.
small. Do it 100% or close to 100% on my own. I had a little bit of money to pay for the sound designer, Mitchell, and that's how Crabmeat came to be.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Were you reflecting on all of the tension and fear that you had had forever, for not forever, but for some
No,
time?
it's forever. Yes.
It feels like it. Well, do you feel like some of it was wanting to sit with that and master that in some way by making a game about like the discomforts of like business and like toiling. Like crab meat, well, I don't want to describe it wrong. I think I understand it, but who knows with me. Tell us about crab meat. What, from your perspective, what is it? What are you doing it, and why are you doing it?
Crabmeat, yeah, no, that's pretty good read. I think Crabmeat is about labor and work, um, and it's got a very weird choice of control scheme. It's a point and click first person game, so it's not a point and click in that it's a static screen and you click on it to move around a character. You're in first person, but you interface with it in a point and click fashion. So the entire game is playable with a mouse, which is upsets some people.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
some people find it very yes. It's like a genre expectation thing, I think, where people think, oh, well, it's first person, so therefore it must be WASD controls or, left stick on the
Oh,
gamepad. And some people are very vitriolic about not liking the gamepad,
no
the control
mist,
style.
no like I'm trying to. I feel like you're not the first to do
Uh,
that.
but it's also an action game.
Right.
It's also sort of it's got like light survival horror stuff, and it's a short, 3 hour-ish narrative, lightly narrative game about just toiling and doing work and catching crabs.
But what's the real problem? Can you tell us the secret of
The
meat?
real problem? It's
Yeah.
fascism. Sorry.
Like with the
Yeah,
world or with crab meat or both? There, it's both, right?
yeah, it's both.
Yeah, it's both.
I started making it just before the Australian elections, and there was a lot of advertising from a party here who was sort of like, I was very worried that we're going to get some seats in government,
Mm,
and it was like they were called the Trumpets of Patriots. That was the party
wow.
name.
The
Yeah.
Trumpettes? Like, are they
Yes.
dancing Trump
Like,
girls?
"Brr,"
Oh,
like a
okay.
trumpet.
The horns. Okay. I thought it was like the
Yeah.
Rockettes, but with Trump look outfits.
And
The-
they were like hyper nationalist, like big business, it was literally run by like an oligarch.
wow.
Um, and he's been trying to get in power for a while, and sometimes he's been successful, but this was his first attempt at like making a proper party. Used to be
Mm.
called the Clive Palmer Party. He's called Clive Palmer.
Oh,
And he just represented like the darkest possible path for Australia.
uh,
Um, so that was very inspiring for the story in a very unsubtle way. We got lucky. We don't have a great government. It has a lot of really big flaws, but we definitely dodged the biggest bullet.
okay. That's a relief
Yeah,
for now. Is he
yeah.
gone?
No, no. Now
No.
we have a different national. I mean, she's been around for a while. There's this woman called Pauline Hanson. She's from North. She's from Queensland, and she's actually been her party's been gaining a lot of power. They're called One Nation. You can imagine what the One Nation is. They're white. They're white nationalists, and Australia's. Yeah, we're so that's like sort of an ever-present threat that's growing here.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I wanted a game that had that in the background, but not and it's there, it's very obvious. I don't hide it in any way, but it's just present the whole time you're playing. Most of the time you're just catching crabs
Yeah. And the
alone.
crabs are creepy, but relatively harmless.
And except for the ones that aren't harmless that try to kill you. Yeah.
How's it landed? How's it going with crab meat? Is it a slow burn? Was there? I know Zoe Handley of Maximum Utmost loved it. I think she gave it a
She gave
9.
me a wonderful review. It was a great read.
She never
Really,
likes any video games that much. That's the
it,
most she's liked a video game in some time. It's like two
I
or three a year she likes that much, and she plays like 20 a month. So,
It's done better than I expected, actually. So things were looking pretty grim close to launch. Marketing games is hard,
mm,
especially in solo. And I don't have any money for press or promotion, or these days people buy influencers, like they'll pay for videos,
yeah.
and I didn't have money for any of that stuff. So I was just sort of riding on organic growth, and yeah, it ended up doing a little better than I expected, which is nice. And it reviewed a little better than I expected too, because I was
Oh.
very scared about how it was going to be reviewed because it's my first game that has an actual narrative. So
Mm,
I didn't direct my like role. It was between like a lot of projects that were shared between me and Winston at Samurai Punk. I was very much focused on like the original concept, and then like gameplay. Like core
mm.
gameplay was sort of like my thing, and before that art because I used to be the art director. Um, and Crabmeat was the first game I've been art director on since I guess Killbug technically, but then before that, like American Dream.
Mm.
And it's the first game I did like nearly all the art, and the first game I did any writing on.
Wow.
So I was quite concerned with just my ability to put out something that had like sort of the whole package, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and people seem to dig it generally, and some people hate the controls.
Because they want more control? Like what
Yes,
are
they want more. They definitely want more control, and
huh?
they want to just have like sort of the survival horror experience they're used to.
Can you just tell them to play Killbug? That has so many controls in it. You're
That's what I do
constantly
sometimes as
controlling.
a joke. I'm like, yeah, you wanna play like a super slick game? Play the game I made just before this.
I wonder about a crossover. So I'm so glad it's done better than you expected. And it's last time we talked a little bit, or I was just reading your Blue Sky feed. I knew you were working on getting it to Japan to localize
Yeah.
it for
Hmm.
Japan. So that's a whole other market potentially. Any chance you think it would get to consoles? Do you want help getting it there? What would
I
you
think
want to do?
I would need some help. I can do it. I just don't want to do it.
No, nobody wants to do it.
It's
Nobody,
such a
nobody ever.
miserable. We've Samurai Punk ported like nearly all our games on our
Oh,
own, and I'm not an engineer, so like I didn't do the worst part of that work. I did the part where you like email Nintendo and say, "Hey, can you get us a spot on your YouTube channel?"
right.
Which is also miserable. But it's not as miserable as dealing with their platforms. It's
Yeah,
just
well,
it's the not fun part of development.
it's been a little while since I've walked through the process with somebody, but I'm remembering at the very least all the lot checks and all of the like unpredictability around when they would get back to you and compatibility issues just being the Wild West sometimes. And
Yep.
towards the end of the Switch 1, people were just telling me like I can't get my 2D platformer that runs on everything else to load in less than 5 minutes on the Switch 1, and I have no idea why. Switch 2 better, but I was I've talked to many people who are like, I'm a established developer. I've sold millions of copies of games. I can't get a Switch 2 dev kit. Like it's just impossible. I would say every other developer I talk to just can't even get one. So that's fun. The future may not be crab meat on consoles then, but it might. What is
Yeah,
the
maybe.
future? Definitely. What do you definitely want to do next?
I'm definitely gonna make more games.
Oh, good.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in a very privileged position that because of Samurai Punk's ongoing existence,
Mm,
basically, and because I live in Australia, where sometimes the government has money to pay out for arts grants, because is a part of why Samurai Punk kept going for as long as it did.
mm.
We were able to sort of bolster smaller projects and things. Um, I'm gonna be able to keep making games for a little bit, for sure. So I haven't decided what the next project is. I'm working on something basically just to work on something
Uh-huh.
until I sort of feel like it could just end up being the next game. It's like a fast little FPS, but like
Oh.
just like coming off the a project that was kind of hard to work on and kind of hard to play and making something kind of like more pure and more just like action.
Hmm.
This is the same thing. Where Crabmeat was quite tough to work on technically and it had like very demanding performance requirements and the controls do make testing a little annoying if you play thousands of hours of it. It wasn't designed for that.
Hmm.
So wanting to make something just sort of as a palate cleanser makes sense.
Fun.
I have lots of big game ideas I want to make, but I just don't know if I can get money for them because it's so hard to find the millions of dollars you need to make a game these days.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unless some people make millions off of a small game, and every
Mm.
single person I've talked to who's done that, I think the last person I talked to who just suddenly became a millionaire, like then she had to like pay bills and stuff and pay people who helped her, so the million disappeared quick. But I remember Skatebird made $1 million eventually. It's a
Yeah.
skateboarding little bird. It's sort of in your ballpark. I see it as I see a lot of Megan Fox's games. She made it with her
Yeah. I
studio.
kickstarted Skateboard, so
Oh, did
I've played
you?
it.
Of
Yeah, it's
course you
fun.
did. Yeah, I could see you two having kind of fun conversations. But so I was like, Megan, how'd you do it? She's like, it was pure luck. So I've made like 10 games. This one made $1 million. Is it better than my other games? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. Like I've made awesome games that just suddenly sell nothing. So you just got to keep rolling the dice. And I'm hoping somehow that you become a millionaire again soon and then can
Okay.
use that money to make
I've never
anything.
been a millionaire.
But the tricky part for you is your history of games. And I haven't talked to you about this in a long, long time, but I think one of the first times we talked, probably on Subholmes about Screen Cheat, was how the N64 is like foundational for you. Like that era is foundational.
Yeah, yeah.
So you probably don't naturally think of doing like a 2D platformer or something
No,
because it's,
no, no. I never think of doing. I don't even think in 2D. I don't want to make 2D games. It's all 3D all the time in my brain.
yeah, which is more expensive a lot of the time.
Yes, can be.
Yeah. So, and also, you don't, as far as I know, think, well, what game can I make to make tons of money? You
No, that
think,
makes me actively depressed.
so you don't think about making 2D games, which are cheaper, and you don't think about how to get rich off of games. You, if I'm just reflecting to make sure I got it right. It feels like you make a game, you throw everything into it. You on Crabmeat, you did like all the work. And then you're like, what will feel good to make now that I'm done making that? And then you start
Yeah.
making something that feels good to make because you like making games. That's kind of, I think, the point. And you want them to be good. And then it gets to be a ton of work after you've done the fun part of making up the game and making it play, and then you gotta like bug test it and lot checks and all that stuff. But then you persevere through all of that and then are in pain. And then you're like, now what video game can I make for fun? And then the cycle repeats. Is that sort of right?
Yeah, it's definitely become more like that over time as well. This because now I don't have to worry about also satisfying. Well, I got to also make these 10 people happy and excited to make this game. I don't have
Oh,
to, when you have a team, you have to and you're leading that team, you have to like inspire them. So I don't have to do that anymore. So now I just have to inspire myself, I guess. Because now I have to do all the work.
I was
That's not totally true. On Crabmeat, I did have a collaborator. I said before, Mitchell Pasmans did all the music and sound.
right.
So I was
And
able to offload at least one task.
that's great. And did
Yeah.
you, I don't, it's okay if you don't want to get into the business piece, but a lot of people just like pay the sound and music creator as opposed to like trying to psych them up. It's like, are you excited to like do this game and be a part of it and also get paid? And they're like, that's all I need. And then they just do it. Did you have to psych him up? Did you have to psych Mitchell?
Yeah, totally. Mitch is a very relaxed human being. So I worked with Mitch at Samurai Punk. He was the sound designer and composer there for 5 years. So
Oh,
it was very
cool.
natural to work with him again. And he has very strong opinions about the games we make. So psyching up is more like convincing him that something is a good idea. And but he's very, very talented. And his time is now in high demand. So I'm very happy that he's managed to like make more of a career outside in a post Samurai Punk life.
Sure.
Um, but no, he was definitely very much part of the team. That's why I gave him like a full credit on Steam. And I think anyone that's involved in the project should be like fully invested in their sort of part of it.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't know their job. I don't do sound for a reason. I'm not good at it. I definitely don't do music for a reason. Um, and I want them to bring their like unique skill and their unique experience to the project. Um, so if I just told them what to do, I think I'd get a very good result out of their work.
Yeah. Yeah. All the composers I know who get told what to do, um, they've I'm trying to think of any that I've talked to. I've always asked this, if I remember correctly, and they've almost always just started laughing because it's so true. It's either I compare them to Phil, the Phil Tippett quote, Phil Tippett, who did the stop motion animation
No.
for Star Wars, and like tons of other stuff. He said that after somebody gets too much control, instead of just like letting the artist go for it. Like when old stop motion animation, they just had to trust them. So they're like, just make it. But now you can like analyze every frame in the computer and be like, oh, that's not quite right. They say it's like moving somebody's furniture in and being an interior decorator, but like you're picking up the couch and moving it 1 inch over and dropping it, and then the person who owns the house is like, just can you scrunch it just a little tighter? And then you do it again. They're like, oh, that's too tight. Now back, and it's like constant micromanagement of folks who as you said, they're not the artists, or in this case, they're not the composers for reasons. They don't actually know necessarily
Mm.
what's going to be good. If they did, they would just make it themselves. The other comparison is this movie High Fidelity starring John Cusack, where
Yep, I know High Fidelity.
yeah, Catherine Zeta-Jones is like he was just a little sparkier, a little sunnier. They'll be like those are the notes I got. Like, can you make this a little sparkier? Like what? How do you even? So you're out of that world. You're doing it on your own. And you were never told what to do by other people ever in
I've
games.
I've been employed once, but never in games. I was employed as a teacher. Does that
Oh,
count? I had to. Actually, when we met, probably I was teaching. I was teaching game design stuff, which I was woefully unqualified to do because I had just started making games professionally.
but you were
Um,
better than, I mean, clearly you knew it and have gone on to do it. But I remember that. And you were kind of like, I'm teaching.
yeah,
Like,
that's how
yeah,
we paid the bills. Because Screen Sheet didn't do very well initially. So
really.
all three of us, me, Winston, and Ellie, we all were teaching while making Screen Sheet. Especially during the second year of production, once we started porting it, because we it wasn't making a lot of money. It didn't was it in Cyberpunk's life? We never had one day where we made, or one day or even a month where we were like, oh, there's enough money in the bank that we just like don't have to like hustle
Oh,
now, like right now. We don't have to like we can just not plan for a little bit, we can just breathe. Um,
that never happened.
and it never happened.
Ah,
Except maybe there was a 6 month period where we were doing so much contracting work.
mm.
And then because we had been doing contracting work and the back catalog had done okay on, I think on Switch, were like, oh, we don't have to like, we have payroll sorted for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, 6 whole months. Uh,
It's a
it was
wonderful
wild.
thing. Yeah, it's you're leaving such a legacy behind of such interesting, heartfelt games with the balance between being authentic and doing what you wanted to do, and also like really earnestly trying to make something that'll make people happy. That's pretty universal to your work, I think. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. We're almost out of time, unfortunately. Do you have any words of advice for young people?
I guess I spent a long time making stuff I wasn't. It's very nice of you to say that everything I worked on was made to make people happy, but I definitely was, there was a period where I wasn't happy with work.
Mm.
We didn't just close because we ran out of money, because we didn't. We could have kept going for a while.
And you're still
Um,
generating your games still sell the back
yeah,
catalog.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just they weren't enough to carry a team of 10,
Right.
but they were enough to carry a small team forward. We could have kept going and cockroached it.
Mm.
Um, but you've got to do what actually makes you happy, especially if you're in a position where you can. I think
Mm.
it's very tough to give that advice to people who are not in positions where they have any agency in their life.
Mm.
Um, but I was in a position where I had agency and I chose not to use it for a while, and I think that was a mistake. Um, yeah, so like if you can, try to do what actually makes you happy.
Yeah. And I deeply relate with, and I think a lot of people have been doing anything for a little while. After a while, it becomes safe and comfortable,
Yes.
and also people rely on you, and you don't want to make it about you. The older I get, the more bored I get with myself, and the more interested I am in trying to help other people instead of even thinking about like, what do I want to make for me? But your life will be so much better, and your ability to be there for people genuinely and authentically will be so much better if you can show up and think about what you actually enjoy doing and bring that. So I'm
Yes.
so glad you're doing that,
Yeah,
Nicholas.
try to.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's not a matter of doing it or not. It's a matter of at least aspiring towards that, because we're always to some degree not fully doing it, but you're trying to do it every day. That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. Where can people find you on the internet?
Just if you just look up Crabmeat, that's the game. That's the one I care about right now. It's just on Steam at the moment, and then I guess I'm on different platforms as Nicholas MC1 with the just I'm mostly on Blue Sky, let's be real. I'm not really posting actively anywhere else.
Yeah,
Oh, and
it's hard
I
to be
do
all the places.
stream development. So I guess if anyone cares about my process, I'm streaming over at Twitch at Searching Interactive on there. and working on the new thing. Just again, seeing where it goes and sort of vibing it out. Not vibe coding,
Awesome.
just actually vibing, listening to music.
Not hoping that a computer makes the rest of your thing for you. Just
Yes, exactly.
enjoying having feelings about what you're doing, sensing those feelings, and then acting on them to keep doing more things.
Pretty much.
So good. And do you want to be called Nick? Should I stop calling you Nicholas this
I don't really
decade?
care.
No, it's okay because it's
In this
always been.
decade, well, as we get older, we got to shorten things. So Nick is fine.
It's the decade of Nick. I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being on, Nick.
Thanks for having me. It was really fun.